Hey Fish Fam, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and we are back to playing with Simic Merfolk in Modern. We're making the deck a little bit more expensive with Cavern of Souls because it's going to be necessary to save life when it comes to damage. A lot of burn decks out there, and also to fight back against the stupid counter spells from Bant Control. They play Mana Leak, they play Mystical Dispute, they play Cryptic Command. It's time to put an end to that nonsense. So if you want to learn how to play Merfolk like a master, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Before we get into our deck tech, we're going to thank our sponsors, starting with themanabase.com. And with articles on Standard Arena, Pioneer, Commander, Modern, and more, the Mana Base is your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And the MTG Mastermind, the coaching program and community where you bounce ideas and get feedback from much better players, the players who go to the Players Tour and win Grand Prix. Go learn from them at the MTG Mastermind. And I've got new patrons supporting me on Patreon. Thank you all so much for your support supporting the channel. So I'd very much like to thank, starting with Andrew Widmer, and I'd like to very much thank Jorrit Barons. Thank you all so much for your support on Patreon. So I'm not gonna lie, it was very close. I was very close to playing Mono Blue this week, and pending maybe some playtesting I'm gonna do this week, I'm probably gonna end up playing Mono Blue in the future. For two big reasons: Burn is on the rise. And maybe Burn is on the rise because Burn is not being given the respect it deserves. You know what? I know that there's this Uro card, and when it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life, and it looks like, maybe that's all you need against Burn. But if you have that mentality that you can get away with that shit, you're gonna get crushed. You're just gonna get absolutely clobbered. It reminds me of when Stoneforge Mystic got unbanned, and basically anyone who had a Batter Skull in their deck thought, oh, I don't need anything against Burn. I got this Batter Skull. What else do I need? I don't need anything. I don't need to put any sideboard cards. I don't need Core Firewalker. And then they get their head kicked in because they realize that that Batter Skull is not enough, and that maybe anyone who's playing Uro, it's not enough. All right, you play Uro once, Skull Crack, and then on my next turn, I outright kill you. So I think people are not giving Burn enough respect. Burn is definitely on the rise, and it's probably because people have that sort of soft main deck hate, but it's just not enough. It's just not. They think they can lean on it, and it's just not enough. So as a result, our painful mana base is very painful. I've taken out some fetch lands, or going down to the shock lands, and 3 Waterlog Grove, so I could make room for Cavern of Souls. I'm gonna play 3. It looks like a lot, but you know what? It's gonna help us save a lot of life, and I think it's gonna be useful right now. Frankly, I hate playing around counterspells against this new Bant Uro deck. I don't want to go into the long game, to be honest. I think that as the game, you can try to play a long game, but I don't think it favors us that much, unless we have enough relics out to stop the Uros. But I would rather close the game out quickly, and I think Simic Merfolk can do that. But it's hard to play out my creatures early on in the game because I know I'm going to run into counterspells, and that's a really awful thing to play into. So we're playing with Cavern of Souls, and because we're playing with Cavern of Souls, I've taken out the Ashok from the sideboard, and we're now going to rely on Grafdigger's Cage and Relic of Progenitus. Oh, my keyboard's stuck. Stop it. So we're gonna rely more on these cards. Ashok, the Titan decks are going down in numbers, not completely, but they are going down. But whatever. The most important thing is Dredge. Dredge is very popular, especially in the competitive premier tournaments. Sodek won an event not too long ago, and now all the Dredge players are coming out. So I'm gonna tell them to go to hell with this Grafdigger's Cage, which is I hope is gonna be more effective than Ashok. Ashok, honestly, I really liked how it performed against Dredge because it forced them to try to attack our hate at another angle. Grafdigger's Cage and Relic both get nailed by things like Blast Zone and Ancient Grudge, but Ashok is a completely different beast. So if you want to beat an Ashok, you have to attack it. So that was good for that. But we're running a lot of Cavern of Souls. We don't have the blue mana sources to cast Ashok by turn 3, which you need to against the Titan and the Dredge decks. Otherwise, there's no point playing the card at all. I'm moving Master of Waves to the main deck to help us against Burn, to help us against Dredge, to help us against a lot of matchups. Taking out 2 Brazen Borrowers. Basically, I'm basically taking this idea from like one of the users, Draconar, and a few others who have shaved on Brazen Borrower to play Master of Waves. And I mean, I want to play Master of Waves in the main, and if there's anything to really like shave on, if there's anything to shave on, period, I would say Brazen Borrower is it. Like I will say Brazen Borrower the first 2 very very good. The third pretty good but not as good, and the fourth can sometimes hurt because drawing multiple Brazen Borrowers in a game is not the greatest. If it will be really good if bouncing permanence is super important, and we're like semi in there in that area because there's a lot of Karn the Great Creator decks around. But it was really good around the Oko metagame where, you know, there's tons of these food tokens that turned into Elks, and bouncing it was like really good value, and a lot of Urzas. And there's still Urzas right now, but not as many as there were before. So that's just something I'm willing to sacrifice to get more Master of Waves into the main deck. I mean, I could have put Brazen Borrower in the sideboard, but also probably shaving on Brazen Borrower is good with me increasing the number of Cavern of Souls, which might make this clunky because it needs double blue. It's not a Merfolk creature. Just remember, this is probably gonna happen somewhere in this league. We can play Cavern of Souls named Fairy. All right, that's a thing that we can do. We can do that. It's okay. It's okay. It might be mandatory at some time. When we're up against like Bant control. So just keep that in mind. We're allowed to name Cavern of Souls on Fairy. It's possible. Don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. Sort of wanted to put... I've increased relics in the sideboard. I'm not going to play with the 4th Force of Negation. I think 3 is okay. I actually think Deprive is well positioned right now. I mean, well positioned enough. Maybe I can go to 2 Force of Negations in the main. But I still like Force of Negation, especially with Dredge being so popular. But I want Deprives for Bant control. You got to give that deck respect. It's the best deck in the format. You have to beat it. Deprive is infinitely better than Force Negation in that matchup. Still have some Damping Spheres for Tron and any Amulet deck that might show up. And I'm just sort of going to lose to humans. I don't think this deck has a lot of game against humans. The matchup's just tough. You need good sideboard cards like Gutshot and what's it called? Torpor Orb. Maybe we can play Torpor Orb, but I'm not going to run it because it would just be for humans. So with that, let's get into our league. Hey, guess what? We won the die roll. Maybe things are going to be different for us this week. Well, this hand's unplayable. Mulligan. This hand is a little bit more playable, but not really. Okay, let's see what our opponent does. We mulliganed. If they mulligan, I'm definitely mulliganing this. But this hand is not a bad, risky keep on the play. Okay, our opponent mulligan. My opponent asks, hey, are you the Merfolk guy, right? I am. Okay, so they mulliganed. I guess we can mulligan this. So, like, if our opponent kept 7, I would keep this, because I don't want to go to 5 against 7. Remember, when you're on the play, it's like you're playing 5 cards versus 8 cards, and that's just brutal to play against. Like, because if all we need to do is... We have a turn 2 play with Dismember. We can go turn 1 Command Speaker into turn 2 Dismember. And all we need to do is rip 1 more colored land to just start doing things. But our opponent mulligans, so we can go down to 5 cards. This hand's fine. Or is it? I have regrets. This hand is actually not fine. What did our opponent do? Our opponent mulliganed to 5 cards. Do we keep this? Do I keep this damn thing? This is a tough keep too. Like this is trash. This is very bad with this mana. Like I would like to dump the Ether Vial. Or I could dump a Cavern and Force, but I never want to put this to 3. Or I could go, but I don't want to... Our opponent mulligan to 5. If they keep going down, that gives us room to keep going down. Turn 1 Vial. Turn 2 don't really do any... I mean, I put a Commander Speaker in play. It's not impressive. Whatever, I'll keep it. It's a weak keep, though. I'll get rid of the Force Negation and a land. I'm like keeping the Aether Vial just for the Brazen Borrower, to be honest. Because I don't want to go Cavernous Souls, Fairy, and then I draw a Merfolk and I can't cast it. Or maybe I can hold up the Cavernous Souls. And wait for my land and see what happens. Okay. It's awful. This situation is awful! I have a 1/1 Merfolk. Maybe I should just mulligan the 4. Maybe a good 4 is better than this. I guess the best thing I can draw right now is like an island. That would be the best. It becomes a 2. We're up against... Oh, we're up against Tron. This means this Dismember really sucks. Alright, let's go. Island? Not an island, but great. That's good. Okay, so we'll name Merfolk with this. This is one of the better... You know, I forgot. I should have looked at my opponent online while I was mulliganing. Oh, no, it's Eldrazi Tron. So this actually is going to be good. Okay. Now, I would like an island, so I can just bounce the Matter Reshaper, get in for 5. Brazen Bar was exiled, so it's not gonna get eaten up by what's it called? Thought-Knot Seer. Well, okay, given this situation, I'm just gonna dismember this. Hope for the best. Just keep applying damage. They found Reality Smasher, that's okay. Hopefully they don't have any more land drops. Which is possible, they mulliganed. A lot. Yeah, but we're not going to dodge Thought-Knots here. Goodbye, Brazen Borrower. That's why I really wanted that island. So we could at least petty theft this thing, and then if Thought-Knot Seer comes down, we would have the spare mana to dismember this, and then we would be in good shape. What do we want now? I don't know what we want now. Anything. More lords. Gas. Anything but a land. Basically. Yeah, that's good. I'll take it. So attack with Commander Speaker. I'm sure someone's saying, Nikachu, you're instantly punished for all the Cavernous Souls. I don't care. I don't care. You can play with Modern Merfolk has reliably played with 14 blue sources for ages. Do they have Tron? No, they don't. This is a Tectonic Edge. It looked like they had Tron. Looked like that was a Tron piece. Reality Smasher. Oh, they didn't block. That's nice. That's convenient. Because the lower and lower they get their, the lower and lower the life total gets, the harder it is going to make like that Reality Smasher alpha swing. It's hard to tell what I want because there's things like Spreading Seas and Brazen Bar where that I can't cast right now because of the Cavern of Souls. Like when you play with 14 blue sources, sometimes this happens, but that's the risk you take. Doesn't always mean you lose. Alright, we're going to see a Reality Smasher. We're going to see a Reality Smasher. Smashy, smashy. Attacking is risky. Because if I top deck a Lord, you're dead. They do not attack. Smart. Okay then. So what do we do? Be patient? Gotta be patient. Now we want a land. We don't want our opponent to play Thought-Knots here. Cavern of Souls, Eldrazi, sure. Nice Cavern of Souls you got there. I also have a Cavern of Souls. Mindstone? It's very important to note that when I Spreading Seas one of their lands, that they cannot Tectonic Edge it away, because I need to have 4 or more lands in order to activate Tectonic Edge. So that's just important. So when I draw an island or a blue source, go on blue source. So far I've been getting everything that I've been asking for, so let's keep it rolling. It's not a blue source, but that's not too bad. Deal 7 damage. I'm probably better off just passing, and then we just Trickster at end of turn, and then swing for the win. Usually when I do this is when they play Karn the Great Creator, and then just change everything. Land, Karn the Great Creator, Ensnaring Bridge. Don't do it to me! Don't do it to me. Oh, you got always. It's always like that. Okay, but they might not have a land. Okay, we'll tap down Reality Smasher. I have to activate the Vial now because if Karn the Great Creator resolves, Ether Vial is offline. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter. I guess I could just you know what? That was a mistake. I punted. I could just cast it off of Cavern of Souls. I gave my opponent more information than I needed to. Liquid Metal Coating? You're lost. Target permanent becomes an artifact in addition. Okay. I think they had to go find like a Walking Ballista and cast it and just have a blocker up, because now I can just attack them and they're dead. Sure, for the funds. All right, so our we drew well. Our starting 5 wasn't very good, but our final everything was great. All right, so what do we want? Okay, we definitely want Spreading Seas. Whoops, not details. Go back. Turn to game. Display card view. Okay, Damping Sphere we want. Turns off Tron in the Eldrazi Temple. What do we not want from the main? I'm not in love with Force Negation in this matchup. Like, it's fine, but I don't really like 2-for-1ing myself. And it's an attrition-based matchup, so we'll cut 1 Cavern. And the fact that they saw our Cavern of Souls probably means they're going to take out Chalice of the Void. Master of Waves is like... Walking Ballista just undermines the card completely. I think this is fine. I'm a little bit more comfortable with more Brazen Borrowers because this is a Karn the Great Creator into Ensnaring Bridge sort of matchup. This hand's weak. I think I'm going to keep it anyway. They mulligan to 6, we'll keep. You can draw a card with Silvergill Adapt. We've got some early stuff. And Waterlogged Grove is good combined with Ether Vial because it allows us to crack it and not really waste time because we're going to have mana with Ether Vial available. So we get at least 1 card from Silvergill, at least a card from Waterlogged Grove. We're going to draw a card for the turn. Dismember hopefully will slow them down. That is worth countering if I had the option. That Tectonic Edge again. Look at that tech. Our opponent's really low. How far are they mulligan? They mulligan to 5 cards. Another Ether Vial. I think I'm just going to play Silvergill Adept here. There's definitely something to be said about holding up the mana for when they play Thought-Knot Seer, but it's actually not guaranteed that they have Thought-Knot Seer. They probably do, because I can predict everything, but I think this, even if they take my Dismember, which they will, I think our position will be fine. We still have Merfolk Trickster to help push through damage, and I really want the cards. And that's a good card. They might even take the Lord of Atlantis once they see it. So this is usually Eldrazi. If they play Tectonic Edge here, that's Eldrazi Temple is usually what is played. They get Urza's Mine. That did not see coming. Another map. Okay. What are you going to do at 8 mana? What do you want to do at 8 mana? You want to hurt me at 8 mana? Is that what's happening here? Why would you want to hurt me? It's a good card. Okay, Mutavault's good. Mutavault is an attacker. Now, I'm going to be very cautious about putting more than 4 lands on the battlefield. Oh, playing this was silly, but... okay, so I have a decision here. If they play Karn the Great Creator, that's going to force me to activate the Vial, so I might as well do it like this. Attack for 6. Puts them in an awkward spot. If they want to Dismember or Spatial Contortion, then they can't Expedition Map this turn. You know, one thing I didn't really consider was playing around All Is Dust. I mean, I could easily just attack for 4, end of turn, flash, and Lord of Atlantis. Maybe I should put more weight into that card. Okay, there's Karn the Great Creator. What can I do about this? Nothing. Resolves. So you can minus, get Ensnaring Bridge, but you're at 3. I can only do... I have Lethal Axe. I have 14 damage on the battlefield. My opponent goes for Ensnaring Bridge. I only have enough mana. So this, well, unless they've got Dismember. Do you have Dismember? You have a 1-drop. Oh no! Oh, how dare you? That's dirty. Now I can't attack with anything. What happened here? You exiled the Simian Spirit Guide or something? Okay. Alright then. This thing cannot attack. Okay, nothing can attack. So we are just waiting for our Brazen Borrower now. That, in theory, could be useful. What was the last thing? They played Urza's Tower. That sucks. I think they need this Tectonic Edge, so I'm just going to play this and pass. Situation's definitely awkward. that's fine. We'll kill it. Goodbye, Merfolk Trickster. Karn the Great Creator grants nothing, but you can still tick it up, right? Till your next turn, you can do something. Just turn an artifact into... Or I guess you don't want to turn your Ensnaring Bridge into a creature. After one target non-creature artifact, yeah, okay. I get it. If you turn Ensnaring Bridge into a creature, I can Trickster it down or something. Gives me more outs. Another Spreading Seas. And pass. So one reason I don't bring in Force of Negation is I think this matchup is pretty attrition-based, and I really don't want to 2-for-1 myself against them. You can get into these games where you start off with you have an early start, but then they play like Spatial Contortion, Dismember, and yeah, Spatial Contortion into Dismember. You don't have that, you don't get that much damage in, so you really are playing for somewhat of a long game. I sort of usually plan on Karn the Great Creator coming down, and I kill it, and then even if they have Ensnaring Bridge, I hope that their life total is low enough that, or sorry, and they have enough cards in hand and their life total is low enough that I can kill them, or we just bounce a Ensnaring Bridge with Brazen Borrower. But I'm only playing with 2 Brazen Borrowers, so maybe I should have at least some Force Negations for Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, this sucks. I have, what's... Cavern of Souls is being targeted? Okay. Oh, I should use that to activate the Mutavault. Okay, this will attack our opponent, this will attack our opponent, this will attack our opponent, this will attack Karn. Okay, so if our opponent keeps drawing expensive stuff, they're dead. Might as well play the last one. Actually, maybe keeping an Ether Vial in my hand would be good against a Reality Smasher. Don't do things! Just stop it! Karn the Great Creator. Another one! But what do you do with it? Turn this into a creature? Okay. Did my opponent just blunder? I think they're going to try to kill this thing. No, that they can't. Okay, hold on. I'm going to see what happens. I don't know if this is... Oh, I can't activate it. Oh, I blundered. No! I blundered. That was stupid. I'm not sure if I would save my Mutavault. But I wanted to activate it. Okay, they're going to play Ballista for nothing. Good play. I need a few things. I need like a land. And I need a Brazen Borrower. Okay, we got the Brazen Borrower. But I don't got my creature! Ugh. Okay, just pass. Hopefully bounce Ensnaring Bridge at end of turn, play a Lord, win. Nurturing peatland. That is A-okay. I don't know if drawing cards is what you want to do. Seems like a risky proposition. Matter Reshaper is okay. How many of these things am I going to have left? My lands are under attack. What do I do? Okay, so I can bounce one thing once. I can attack for 6. Oh no, wait a minute. I can attack for lethal. Who cares? Okay, I have a Lord of Atlantis. I have Island Walk. Okay, we got it. We got it, people. We got it. Or, hold on. Undo. Undo. Backspace. Backspace. I don't know what they're going to do to me. Let's float a mana. That's dead. Okay, I lose the mana. Can't even see that I have Island Walk for victory. I'm sweating so hard. It's a very unusual game. Alright, so Brazen Borrower, proving once again why it's $1 million on Magic the Gathering Online. That's why. It's a main deck Echoing Truth that can be a... we'll say no to everything. We're going to say yes to one. Why not? There we go. All creatures attack our opponent. Beating Eldrazi Tron. It can be done! It can be done. Alright, we got there. We did it! It is possible. We won the match. Beautiful. Against Eldrazi Tron, one of the toughest decks to beat in Modern. We still have game. Thanks to Simic Merfolk. So for that, I'm happy I chose Simic for this league because Mono Blue is definitely at a disadvantage. The Merfolk Mistbinders and the Comena Speakers make a big difference. Like, if I had Mara Regery in game 1 instead of that... If I top-decked Mara Regery instead of Merfolk Mistbinder, that game 1 could have been totally different. Like, as you saw, I needed to top-deck that. I only had 2 lands in play, so Mistbinder was important, and I think here the Comena Speaker was also very important. So that's our game for today. We're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon. We're also going to thank themanabase.com and the MTG Mastermind for being our sponsors. This has been Nikachu, Merfolk Master, showing it in Modern.